Reaction defined precisely. Reaction is not emotion. Reaction is not the feeling that arises when a condition appears. Feelings arise. This is the nature of inhabiting a physical life. The thinker who encounters a challenging condition will feel its weight. That feeling is not reaction. Reaction is what thinking does in response to the condition. Does thinking follow the condition? Does thinking move from the seed to what is physically seen? Does thinking begin developing the condition rather than the seed? If yes, that is reaction, regardless of whether emotion is present, regardless of how the thinker feels about the condition. The decisive element is the direction of thinking. This is the 7-minute daily focus. Day 219 of 365, to focus on the world within from the world without. Today's focus, the law of non-reaction, action and reaction in non-reaction. Pause for a moment. The distinction between action and reaction is at the very heart of this law. Reaction is the fundamental threat to unfolding. Non-reaction is the fundamental protection of it, and the choice between action and reaction, made in every moment that a condition appears, is the choice that determines whether development proceeds or pauses. Pause for a moment. Reaction defined precisely. Reaction is not emotion. Reaction is not the feeling that arises when a condition appears. Feelings arise. This is the nature of inhabiting a physical life. The thinker who encounters a challenging condition will feel its weight. That feeling is not reaction. Reaction is what thinking does in response to the condition. Does thinking follow the condition? Does thinking move from the seed to what is physically seen? Does thinking begin developing the condition rather than the seed? If yes, that is reaction, regardless of whether emotion is present, regardless of how the thinker feels about the condition. The decisive element is the direction of thinking. Thought is within, effect is without, and thinking stands between. Pause for a moment. Non-reaction defined precisely. Non-reaction is not the absence of feeling. Non-reaction is thinking remaining upon the seed, while the feeling is present. The condition appears. The feeling arises. The condition is seen. The feeling is felt. And thinking remains upon the seed. This is non-reaction, not the suppression of feeling, not the denial of the condition, not performance of calm when calm is not present. The feeling is fully present. The condition is fully seen. And thinking, through the first sense, through recognition, is held upon the seed. The feeling moves through. The condition is acknowledged. And development continues because thinking has not followed the condition, because the seed has continued to receive the nourishment of sustained thinking, because unfolding has not been interrupted. Pause. This is the most important distinction of phase 4. Feelings are not reaction. Feelings do not interrupt development. Only the direction of thinking interrupts development. The thinker who believes they must suppress feelings to achieve non-reaction has misunderstood the law, and the effort to suppress feelings is exhausting and ultimately unsuccessful. The thinker who understands that non-reaction is the direction of thinking, that feelings can be fully present and thinking can still remain upon the seed, is operating from the precise understanding of the law. And from that understanding, non-reaction is not the suppression of anything. It is the sustained direction of thinking toward the seed from within, while the fullness of life, including its feelings and conditions, continues around it. Pause. In the context of non-reaction, action has a precise definition. Action is remaining upon the seed, continuing to sustain thinking upon what is recognized within, not because conditions are favorable, not because the surface supports it, because the seed is the cause, the conditions are effects, and causes are what the thinker acts upon. Effects are what the thinker reacts to. The thinker who acts upon the cause sustains thinking upon the seed, regardless of what the effects are showing at the surface. When the visible picture matches the seed, action upon the seed. When the visible picture does not match the seed, action upon the seed. When the invisible period extends, action upon the seed. Always upon the seed. This is action in non-reaction. Reaction is following the effect level, taking the surface report as the reference, redirecting thinking from the seed to the condition. This is not inaction, it is misdirected action, action at the effect level, which produces more effects, not development. The thinker who understands this distinction acts always at the causal level, within upon the seed, from non-reaction and causal action sustained consistently within. Day after day, choice after choice, must produce causal effects without, because cause produces effect, always, from within, without. Now, the affirmation for day 219. Pause for a moment. I perceive what is physically seen. I do not react to it. I acknowledge what appears. I do not follow it. Conditions present themselves. I remain upon the seed. The appearance is secondary. The seed is primary. I operate from the primary. I do not allow what is secondary to interrupt what is developing within the primary. I hold, I sustain, I remain, and what is held and sustained must unfold, and what unfolds must physically express. Remember, by design, by focus.